Okay guys, now we'll see variables. So basically variables are of three types. First is var, second is let, third is const. So const stand for constant, let for let it be, and var for variable. But whole together these three are called variables only, and this single is called also variable. So keep that in mind. I'll teach you and everything what is variable and everything. Okay. So there is something called comment. So if you do double slash, so JavaScript won't read that line. Anything after that won't read, but it reads from the next line. So this is a comment. Okay. So make sure of that. Whenever I put double slash, meaning it's a comment, JavaScript is not reading that particular line. Okay. So we'll start for var. Okay. Var stand for variable. So var was the first one like introduced in JavaScript. Let and const stand for constant came afterwards, after ES6. So this is the most like the most first one in the variables. It's not widely used now. People mostly use let and const only, but variable is also a thing you should learn, because you base should start from the variables only, then you should switch to let and const depending on the use case. So what is var? Var is like for variable. So what is variable? Variable mean you have a box and you want to put some value. Okay, you have a box, you want to put some value. Value means some item. Okay, there is a box, you take real time scenario. You have a box, you want to put some data there. Okay, or maybe something like pencil box. In a box you are putting a pencils or pencil box. Now wherever you can carry that box, there will be always be pencil inside. Same way I will say variable box. So now what I am doing, I am saying there is a variable that is box. So this is a box, I can put anything inside this box. So now I have declared box with a variable. Okay, I say variable box. Now if I console.log box, you can see undefined. It's saying there is a box, but there is empty box. There is nothing. Undefined means empty, there is nothing. But suppose if you uh, won't declare variable box and directly print box, it will say reference error, box is not defined. You will say what is JavaScript saying, okay, what is box? I don't know what you are trying to say. But in the first line, I'm saying variable box. Okay, so I have said it's saying, now if I save it, it's saying undefined. This is not defined. There is nothing value. But if I say box equals to 6, now I'm putting 6 pencils, you can say, or you can say 6 value, whatever you say. So now box got some value. Firstly, I declared the box, then I printed, but say undefined, doesn't have any value. Then I told box equals to 6. Now if I save it, see, still it's printing this. Now if I print again, box, see 6 got inserted because I have put firstly box, then I printed, that was undefined, nothing was there. Then I put 6 into box, and then I directly printed box, then also it got 6. You can directly do like this also. Suppose box2 equals to 6 and use the console.log box2. Okay, or maybe you can 8 also, whatever value you need. See, it will run. But when you go to React, Angular, some frameworks you gonna use Node.js, then it will create problem. It will say, okay, what is this? By default, JavaScript will run in like normal JavaScript functions, like JavaScript. This is normal JavaScript file. It will automatically declare this as var. Okay, automatically. But when you go to some big frameworks like React, Angular, Vue, then you have to declare this. Otherwise, it will throw an error. So never try this method. Okay. Firstly, you have to tell there is a variable box and 6. Now I want to remove 6 from there and put something else. So I'll say box equals to, now I've put a string. So now if I say console.log box, see, firstly it was undefined, then I put 6, then I put something else. Now again I put box equals to, now 6 in string. String, I have already told you what are strings. Now if I say console.log box, See, 6 coming as a string, not as a number, but here it was a number. So this is the difference. You can always use any like variable and store values. Now suppose you want to take another variable, you could just say variable box2. Okay, but this time you have to again like you can do directly like this 6 or maybe 10. Instead of firstly declaring then putting the value, you can directly do like this. Now if I say console.log box2, see, we got the 10. Why? Because here I'm putting directly, I'm declaring also, I'm putting the value directly, I'm doing both the things, you can say that. Then I'm printing the value. Now suppose I want to add 6 plus 10. Okay, so now I can just say console.log box plus box2. Now box value is 6, so it's a string. Let me change it here to normal. So now it got again integer 6. Okay, now I'm saying 6 plus box2 10, so it will show you 16. See, 16 got. Now I want to save this value to a variable for future use, so I can just say variable box3 is equals to box plus box2. Now if I say console.log box3, so it got, see, again 16, because box 6 last value was 6, because this was overridden everything, last value was 6, box 2 was 10, it became 16 and it printed. Now again if I add suppose 10 into that, it will become 26. Save it, see, 26. So this is the concept of variable. You can store anything. So why it's useful? Suppose you are like you have a big string, suppose let me say you have a variable str. Okay, str you can take, and you have a big string. Let me just write lorem fcm. If lorem, okay, it's not auto completing. Suppose you have a big string. Now instead of writing again and again, now wherever you want to use, I got enter or something, yeah. So now wherever you want to use, you can just say console.log str. Okay, see, so easy. Now you don't have to write this again and again. But this is not the only use case. This is the like smallest feature of variable, you can like easiness, but this is not the real case. You'll see a lot of stuff, okay, when you go forward. So you have seen, you can just put any value, change it, again change it. Okay, now come to const. Let me put here where it was where. Now we'll see const. Const stands for constant. So what does constant mean in real life? Constant means in real life which can't be changed, which is constant. Same logic applies here. If I say constant a, same here, there is a variable I'm saying as constant and a. Now I'll say a is equals to 10. Okay, console.log is works same as variable, nothing different, just keep on C. So 10 printed. Now I want to change again the value to 20 and say console.log a. I got an error, assignment to constant variable. It's saying you are changing the constant variable. Why? Because constant variable value can't be changed in constant. Either it should be a variable or let I'll tell you afterwards, but you can't change a constant value. So what you got to know, whenever you define a constant value, you can't change it in future. Suppose you have a constant. Now you'll be confused, when should I use var, when should I use constant. Suppose you have someone's name, so I'll say name. So now you know the name of the person will not change in the program. So like you have made a program for that particular person, you know that shouldn't be changed. So you can just make it as a constant instead of variable, because you know that person name won't change, or maybe age, his age won't change. So you can just say constant console.log name, but it's telling error here. So let me just comment it out. A is equals 20. Let me just write it. You can't overwrite override constant variable. Okay, this is also called a variable. Everything is a variable, and var is also a variable. Okay, so you can't change a constant variable. So this is what about constant. So say you can do everything, like suppose you can say constant equals to x equals to name plus 20. Okay, name is Sayyid Zainu 20. Now say console.log x. So what happens? Sayyid Zainu, then there was a string Sayyid Zainu with the name plus 20, because it's the first time I'm declaring and I'm firstly adding the value, then putting in the x. Same concept of box. Firstly you are adding, then putting in the box. Now we'll see let. Let is totally like a const, but it has a scope. Suppose there are two brackets, curly brackets. So these brackets I'll tell you when we'll study for loops, if else, switch case, so functions. So suppose you have a let is same as variable. If I have a let, why I'm not can't write let, yeah, let, I'll say first name is also Sayyid. Okay, I say console.log first name. See, Sayyid got printed. Now suppose I want to change the first name. I'll say first name, or again I want to print after this bracket. I'll say console.log first name. It will say error, first name is not defined. Why? Because let can be used inside the curly braces only. Keep that in mind. Variables and constant can be used like in the whole function, or but let can be used wherever it was defined. It was defined inside these bracket, so it can be used only inside these brackets. But if I would have defined outside, then see, no problem, both time printed, because it was outside. But here it's inside this curly braces. Now this let can be used inside this curly braces only. But if you define a variable, suppose last name Zeno. Okay, now if I say console.log last name, yeah, this error I have to remove because first name can't reach. See, Zeno printed. Now if I say console.log last name, see, again printed two times, here. But in case of let, you can't print outside curly braces. Same goes for constant also. If you make it constant, you can use outside curly braces. Last name is not defined. Okay, yeah, constant also can't be used outside the curly braces, but var can be used anywhere. That's why people are started using let const a lot, because they know, okay, this inside all the variables I'm defining should be used inside curly braces. So this was all about variable, let, const. You got the everything. Like let, you can, it's same as variable, but you can't use out of the scope. Constant value doesn't change, and it can't be used out of the curly braces. Where value can be changed, you can use anywhere within the functions. I'll tell you functions afterwards. So it can be used within the functions only. But if you define it like same, like before the brackets, so it's outside the bracket, so you can use outside also. Okay, so this was all about variables, including var, let and const. So let and const is the part of ES6 syntax.